Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Melina Landrio, and I wanted to thank everyone for sharing space with me today. Now, jumping into this reading, I was guided to utilize my biblical tarot today. And I was just sorting through my cards because it's been a little while since I've tapped into these cards. And in particular, the death card was in reverse. And it made a lot of sense because as the reading came closer to time to be read, I started to feel resistance, maybe a fear of the unknown, some form of stagnation getting in the way. And that's what the death card in reverse is all about. It's about resistance to change. In this particular deck, it's about resistance to change. It's about unfinished business and also some form of delay in transformation. Let me just fix this light here. So this could be significant for some of you jumping into this reading. So I'm just going to place that as the navigation of, maybe where you've been sitting as of late in regards to moving forward. Maybe you have been resisting some form of change in your life. Maybe something has caused some form of stagnation in your life where you're resisting to move forward in a particular direction, maybe out of fear that it's unknown, or maybe out of fear that the same thing might occur. And this is delaying your way forward, some form of transformation for you. So if this is resonating with you, this is the basis of this reading today. The number 114 came into my awareness, which is all about keeping focus. I believe it's about intentions and being positive. So maybe you've been having trouble with your focus, or maybe you've been being aware that you are unfocused and trying to cultivate focused energy in your life. Maybe you've been aware. I feel like you've been aware of maybe some negative attributes, perhaps lower vibrational energies, or maybe you're becoming aware of people that are surrounding you who are creating a form of low vibrational energy. And you're understanding there is a required need to remain positive, to focus or create some form of interchange in your life. I don't know what that word actually implies, interchange, but that's the word that came up. So I'm assuming it just means changing from one structure to another. I'll actually look that up. 1 second here. So I just briefly looked it up, and what I'm getting is it's exactly that. It's changing. It's a transaction from one way to another. And it's an exchange of energy from negative energy into positive energy. I'm not really getting the sense that there is some form of payment to do this type of exchange or interchange. It's more of an internal focus, drive, work ability that you have come into. Also, the number 115 illuminated as well. And this is indicating that maybe you've been sitting on some ideas, perhaps feelings leading you into some sort of overdue change. So you're sitting in some sort of stagnant energy in regards to your emotional experience. And this is what's leading you. It's, I guess, a reflection perhaps is what's highlighting. And this is what's leading you out of whatever was into what will be. Again, the interchange word. And what the number 115 is expressing is that it's time for you to implement. So if you have had some goals that you've been sitting on because you're in your feels about them, but you keep coming to the same crook in the mix, like you put them aside and then you come back again in the same type of experience of emotions, and then all of a sudden this rises up, this idea, this thing that you have to do, and then you keep pushing it off, but it keeps coming around the block for you to look at. It's time to implement, not put it aside. And then I heard a knock on my cupboard at this moment when I was reflecting on that. So that could be significance. It's like knock, knock, knock. Time to come, rise and shine. Time to open that doorway. It's time to step into that portal. It's time to step into whatever it is this transition is going to be for you, because this, as the death card implements, this is transformation. This is about great transformation. And this is either closing out whatever is necessary from the past for you to be able to step into this great transformation, which I think is exactly what this is going to be about. Also, I'm being guided to remind you that you have the power. You've always had the power. And you may not have understood the power that you've had, but you've always had a deep inner knowing that you were powerful. Whether that be in the mind frame that you hold, the emotional capacity that you gauge, the way that you implement your nature when you go out with your values and your morals, there is some form of understanding of the capabilities of the expansion of who you are, as in the word power. And because you have this power, you can change your circumstance. You can change the dynamic. You can change the infrastructure. And you know this because you have shaken all of it off before. You've done it time and time again, and you're now doing it once again. So you've been going through something over the last little while. When I say little while, this is a few years, could be up to a decade or more. You've been going through something. And although while you were going through this something, you've shaken off so many counterparts of that something to ultimately shake off the complete totality of it to enter into this opportunity. It's a new direction, and the opportunity is a manifestation, one that's likely something that you keep passing off, that you keep bringing back to the forefront. So you're manifesting something, and you're understanding a pathway that has been, and you're definitely veering away from it. You know not to dabble that direction anymore because you've definitely learned a lesson here. A closure of a cycle could be very significant. I saw a lamb in a hallway, and what lamb represents to me is innocence, it's purity, but it could also be utilized as sacrifice. So this could be very significant for you as well. And then I also saw the hallway part of that vision, which is implying, you may have gone through a time of uncertainty. You may have had to go through various time frames of transformation to grow into who you are today. And coming into this reading, there was a lot of fear coming up in my solar plexus, a lot of stagnation trying to get me to not do the reading. So I feel like for whoever this reading is for, whoever this reading resonates with, you have definitely been going through some form of transformation, transition as well. And you have been keeping yourself stuck in a dynamic just out of just the understanding, because of how powerful you are, the understanding that you have gained on how things are actually forming on this 3D plane, whereas you also can look at the perspective from the 5D and above. Therefore, it's difficult to live in just one perspective of reality when you can accumulate multiple layers and of levels of reality. That makes sense for somebody here? 331 also became apparent to me, which is a need to think through things. So you need to know that, you need to take a breath. You don't need to answer things immediately. You can always have a sit and think through anything. Anybody trying to rush you through the process of your understanding of how you feel about something is obviously not for you. If you don't know that's obviously, then here's your confirmation that it's not for you. If someone's forcing you to do something, pushing you, harassing you, any type of implementation of some form of push beyond your capacity to fully understand or envelop this understanding of whatever it is that you're faced with is not for you. Okay, so to take your time is what that's saying. Take time to think it through. Make sure that you're coming to the conclusion that you need that's most beneficial for you. And also understand that you have angels around you helping you to uplift you, and they're creating this positivity for you at this time. So you may have felt down in the dumps, and maybe just a surge of positive energy or just really loving light energy holding you, or just an awareness of some form of positive shift. This is your angels working in construct to align you into your new reality that you're trying to create. 333 is all about taking action in your life, and it's another number that came up very prominently. I also noticed the sequences of numbers that were coming up were very close to each other. So the first two sequences were one away, and the second two, which is what I'm speaking of right now, are two away. So It's like you're in your steps. 1, 2, 3, 4 could be significant. 2, 3, 4 could be significant. And the second step here, which I think is where you're at right now or where you've been, depending on where you're feeling about this energy, but you're to take action in your life. It's continuing on with the plans that you have been implementing towards your goals, your dreams, any aspirations that you have had that you've come to the understanding that you need to start to implement more of in your life. And this could be even the result of just taking care of yourself, self-care. You just continue focusing on the self-love, because self-love is a huge counterpart of this. And also the expansion you seek mentally or physically, emotionally, and even spiritually. 529 is also a number that came up, and this is something that you are doing right now, is currently taking transformation. So you're very aware of whatever this is. You've been implementing it. You have been doing the work. It's already kind of been placed out there, and it's now taking formation. It's starting to align, or it is in alignment with your life purpose. It's starting to come along. And from that point on, I got the song Rescue by Lauren Daigle. And there's particular lyrics that kept repeating was, pardon me, as soon as I'm about to sing, I get the spiritual burps coming out. So there's something truthful about this energy here. A lot of movement, a lot of motion. Pardon me, let me get a sip of water here. Okay. The song goes, I will send out an army to find you in the middle of the darkest night. It's true, I will rescue you. There is no distance that cannot be covered over and over. You're not defenseless. I'll be your shelter. I'll be your armor. I hear you whisper underneath your breath. I hear your SOS, your SOS. I will send out an army to find you in the middle of the darkest night. It's true, I will rescue you. I will never stop marching to reach you in the middle of the hardest fight. It's true, I will rescue you. I hear the whisper underneath your breath. I hear you whisper, you have nothing left. I will send out an army to find you in the middle of the darkest night. It's true, I will rescue you. I will never stop marching to reach you in the middle of the hardest fight. It's true, I will rescue you. Oh, I will rescue you. I know, I'm such a great singer. That's basically the lyrics that came up. I know I don't do justice. My apologies. So that's pretty much the download that came in. So I'm being guided to pull cards on what it is that you guys are needing to help you through this. You might need an understanding of your past. You might need to implement something to move into your future. So I'm just going to let God and the angels, my spirit team, to guide me through this reading, through these cards that I'm now shuffling, as you can hear and you can see. I hope everyone is doing well. I hope you guys are enjoying this December. We've got a beautiful snow dump here, so it's winter now in Ottawa. I don't know where you guys are all from, or if you guys get snow, but here in Ottawa, we get lots of it usually. But last year we didn't really have much snow. I don't even know if we had snow on Christmas, which was weird for us. So it's nice to have a dump before Christmas, because for me, Christmas has always been a huge white blanket of snow. So I don't know if you guys celebrate Christmas or what have you, but I hope that you guys are ready for whatever holidays it is that you guys are embracing this holiday season. And we're going to jump into what it is that needs to come up to the forefront here. Hangman in reverse and the Sun. Well, the Hangman in reverse is definitely all about stagnation and delay. But I don't think this is you, although you, coming into the reading, I was feeling a lot of stagnation and fear. And I do feel like on one spectrum, my collective, you guys are experiencing this, but I don't think you're experiencing any more, because I feel like you have a lot of things that you're cultivating. You have a lot of beauty and a very big understanding of who you are energetically. And if you haven't always had this understanding, you've come into the full totality of it. Like, you may have always had a knowing of something more, but maybe you were never someone who came out and said, I am powerful here, or I know I'm very good here. Maybe you just allowed your actions to be who you were and people just misunderstood you. The Sun here is illuminating that you are celebrating life. You're in joy, you're in optimism. Maybe you have some recognitions that have come in or are about to come in, maybe some form of achievement you've received, and you're very blessed and you understand the blessings of it. There's a lot of new beginnings in this understanding here with the Sun card. It's like there's a time where things were very conflicted. Sorry, these two cards wanted to flip out. So I will take them. There was a time where, a couple. Interesting. There was a time here with the Sun card where maybe you longed for a more simplistic life, but maybe you were always met with a lot of conflict. And perhaps you were sacrificed in the past because of this. But not no more. This is now showing me like this mirror reflection energy again, where I'm seeing like the opposite, like your opposition perhaps is in the fear of sacrifice. Maybe what they have done to you is now being illuminated in the celebration and the joys that you're having. Maybe somebody spoke ill will on your name, created some form of distortion for you to create a lack of recognition on who you actually are. And now in your new beginnings, this is being illuminated that you are actually the high priestess. And also in alignment with the high priest is what it feels like. It's like you're in a couple, you're in love, you have a partner, and you're both stepping forward into your destiny together is what this is feeling like. These two cards coming out together is all about insight, wisdom, and authority. Something you're doing together with somebody. You've got tradition coming in alignment with mystery. You got the masculine and the feminine, so there's a balance. This could be you, or this could be you. Like, this could be you loving up on both your feminine and masculine energies, and this is the power of who you are. Or this is you also, I feel like there's a love connection here for some of you. This is you having your match. And this is all about mentoring or teaching, also about a belonging with community. Transformation, this transformation that you're stepping into is going to bring you into alignment with this for whoever this is for. Let's see here. Tell me the past of all this. Oh, that's too many. That's too many. That's too many, and I don't even know which order they fell. One, please. There we go. So in the past, you were tested of your strength. You were tested of your virtue and your strength, your resiliency. I think above all, your faith. You've been through a lot of bare bones of your past, a lot of shedded experiences. No, that's again too many. Thank you. But I know it's an overload. The energy does feel like it's overloaded. Like it's so exciting. This energy is very excited. It's like angels are like trying to burst this energy out there. One card, please. Recent. Boop. Page of Candles in the reverse. And this page in the reverse being underneath the Sun card is I'm just going to clarify it a little bit, but it's very telling that this is somebody who has likely created setbacks for you. They're now experiencing setbacks. Maybe they created some form of unfulfilled potential. Maybe you were supposed to step into something a long time ago, and maybe this Page of Candles created some form of difficulty or discord in regards to the Hangman energy here. Somebody who's resistant to change. Please clarify unfulfilled potential. Queen of Cups in the reverse. Clarify resistance to change. Oh. Page of Cups. Emotions. So this Queen of Cups here is learning to cope with the rising emotions. So they're watching you and they have these emotions that are rising. They're moody. They don't have good boundaries. So they're probably expressing a lot of discard about you. They're in overwhelm. They're potentially codependent as well, or in emotional numbness. Like they're not going into sorry if you hear me fussing behind the camera here. I'm just charging my phone here. Yeah, they're definitely fussing. They're definitely in this numbness, and they're fussing in regards to what it is that your energy is implementing. Is how this feels. So that's clarifying it, and just but the Page of Cups in regards. The Page of Cups in regards. It's maybe they're getting new understandings, or new reflections, or maybe they've been meditating upon this and just seeing a truth that maybe they once could not see. That's how that feels. Make sure it's putting them back in properly. I realize here, let me just show you. Right here, I had my deck, and I just realized there's a card stuck underneath it, so I'm just going to pull it up. So something to do with under the moon. Something influencing under the moon. And this card is all about illusions and deception. It's about maybe somebody trusted what somebody else said about you, and they're in regret now about it. Maybe they're realizing what was said about you was untrue, and maybe they're reaping the benefits or lack of benefits for doing so. Maybe they're finding themselves at a standstill because of this energy that they've decided to invest in, which was not of the truth, was not positive. Something like that is going on here in this energy. And let's see, where's the future energy of all this? Woo! We'll take it. So we have a 7 of Candles and a 5 of Chalices. David and Goliath. It just feels like somebody realizing, or maybe about to realize, that they've just been fighting. They felt you were the big bad wolf in some sort of dynamic, and they're now realizing that they were the big bad wolf in this dynamic, that it was never you. That's what the 7 of Candles is expressing to me. And the 5 of Chalices is they're experiencing a lot of torment, and the regret. Maybe they lost you. Maybe you were somebody very important to them at one point, and maybe they lost sight of the importance of who you were to them, and now they're in loss or sorrow or both, because they're focusing a lot on what has been lost in this big bad energy that they casted you to be. But it turns out it was always them. They're not necessarily, they weren't understanding that those illusions or gossip that they were listening to in regards to the moon by somebody that they thought was superior, apparently. They're now seeing, and they're sitting in the grief in the mourning and hoping for there could be a potential for forgiveness. So there must have been something of what's the word I'm looking for? Something of huge ramification was done to you in regards to this big bad wolf energy here. What was done in the dark? What was done under the moon? What is this regret? What was done? Hierophant in reverse. So somebody pretending to be a teacher, somebody claiming to know something that didn't know something. Six of Wands. Sideways. Six of Wands. Let me look that up. Six of Wands. Yeah, it's... So the Six of Wands is a card of victory. It's a card of success, clarity. So this person wasn't very clear. They weren't very successful. It was obvious that they were racing, but they were lacking in the race. You were winning, and there was no race. The Six of Wands was somebody trying to gain your victory, perhaps, and now they're not going to get their public honors, which they were maybe there was like some sort of like it feels like a tug of war, like I'm fighting you, but really you're not in the fight. Like someone was fighting an imaginary version of you. Like they were competing is the word. Yes, thank you, Spirit. They were competing with you in regards to this Hierophant energy. They were trying to be the better version of whatever you aspire to be. So maybe you're a teacher, Hierophant being a teacher, somebody who knows a bit about something. And maybe they were trying to battle you in regards to what it was that they thought you knew. And it's so funny to me when I hear this in these readings or just in life in general. It's like, how can you combat somebody that you know nothing of? Like we think we know everybody that we know in our lives, but we really know nothing of them. All we could do is know of ourselves. So when we're placing ourselves in somebody else's life, saying they're fighting me, they're doing this, they're doing that, there is this underlining like, well, how are they doing it? And is there proof? Is there proof? Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, how can you say that somebody is trying to take something that you're doing when your brain is completely separate from this person's brain? Your understanding or idea of maybe you're doing the same thing. Irregardless, you're both going to do two separate things because one person has different experience than the other. And that's the beauty of being a human being, right? Is that we're all born into these different traits, these different systems. And even though there may be some sort of similarity, there's always a form of difference, which implements us to move forward in a different way. And it's always fascinating to me when I see this card come out in regards to combating somebody, trying to teach something, trying to be better at them than something. It's like, what's the point? And I think somebody is coming to the realization that there was never really a point to fight you. Because, I mean, ultimately, maybe they've lost a lot now in regards to it, and here they are, you're succeeding. So whether they're in this woe of, really understanding what they've done and implemented in regards to who you are, or if it's just self-pity and just wishing that they could still have the great, I don't know. But moving forward out of this energy, somebody is feeling very regretful in regards to their actions. So let's see the current of this question here. Yeah, we have a Seven of Feathers here. Do you see how this person is holding somebody's hand that they trust and they're blindfolded? But then you see in the back somebody is watching on and they're kind of encased in a lot of red flame. Something was done in the dark to create a form of circumstance for you. You being the trusting blind person here. You having faith that all will be well. And meanwhile, someone's holding your hand, being a bit sneaky, being deceptive, pretending to be something that they're not, trying to help you, trying to hold space for you, to have empathy or some form of understanding. And maybe you were going through something and this person was the shoulder you leaned on. But in the background, there is a woman here, all dressed in red, with an ulterior motive. This is how this is feeling. Something very shady was done. And that's the current of this this reading here. Let's see what was done that was shady. 10 of Wands. Ace of Pentacles. So somebody essentially disregarded your burdens. They disregarded all that you've been through, all your experience. They disregarded it publicly to somebody, to a platform, to a person who openly confessed this to other people because they could see that you were blessed. They felt like you were blessed. They felt like you were going to take something that they felt was their blessing, but the reality was it was destined for you. And so this person went up against you, lying on your name, creating illusions about who you were to people who were supposed to be in alignment with you. And now these people are maybe starting to see the truth of who you are as well. Perhaps they were also led astray that you were this big bad Goliath energy, when the reality is now they're starting to see this person who lied on your name was the Goliath energy. Let's see the environment in which this occurred. Knight of Candles. So fast moving energy. Yeah, this was done really shadily fast. This is very bold action. This Knight of Candles is a very bold, very courageous. They come across as very courageous. So this is somebody who is perceived a certain way. They're very determined to continue on with this bold leadership. Bold really is coming out. It's really illuminating. It's like brassen. It's like the opportunity was seen in you, and it was like almost like if you could see this guy's like he's racing. It's like he's also looks like he's combating someone. His sword is out. He's got his fist up. He's combating you to take you out. This Knight of Candles was coming in to take out all the competition that was going to get in the way from this person taking from you. And you see there's some slain bodies in the background. They did this at any cost. They didn't care who it affected, as long as they got to the money pot, is how that feels. The energy feels. Eight of Candles. And this is their emotions. And the Eight of Candles is rapid development. So an understanding of who you were rapidly came to the forefront. Maybe they got some form of divine guidance. Or you did. Or both. Maybe they were doing some form of, let's see here. What's this divine guidance? Death. So you're going through some form of transformation. They knew you're coming in to do some form of transformation, and they wanted to bring that to a death. There's two spectrums here in this Eight of Candles. And this person, this Knight of Candles, they didn't stop. They continued this momentum. And this is what the Eight of Candles is. Like they got this like jealousy, this rage about who you were. And they continued in on that flow. Ultimately for what? To bring you into a Page of Cups. Page of Cups is out here twice. They're, oops, I just lost a card. Where did that card go? The pile of cards just fell on the ground. We got the Ten of Cups. We have the Four of Cups, the Ten of Pentacles, the Four of Swords, Ten of Swords. It's like, whenever I see this card, I find this card funny. It's like this person's like trying to do all the bells and whistles to create some form of discord. And nothing is working. They're like sitting in their head like, oh my God, why isn't this working? I need this Ten of Pentacles. I'm losing so much money trying to take this person out. I need them to die already. Put them in a coffin. Let's put a death to the end of this. Let's give them a Ten of Swords. Like, my God, why is this happening? It's like, they're salty because of it. They're trying to make you salty, but they're salty. What is the outcome of all this energy? I mean, we all know where the outcome is right now because you're transforming. You're transforming. Queen of Cups in reverse. So again, the Queen of Cups is coming out, clarified in the clarified cards that she came out before. Clarify. Yeah, this Queen of Cups who came up against you is now struggling with faith. And they're in hard times and they're struggling with their faith. And maybe they're feeling abandoned in the whole dynamic. Maybe you felt abandoned in your past leading into this. All those moments where your strength was tested and you got to understand the power of who you are. This Queen of Cups is now being tested in that same strength, and maybe they're seeing they cannot amount the same way that you once did. They once witnessed you do. The Queen of Cups is about hardship, and it's all about despair. And nothing is being answered. The divine's not connecting with them. They've lost their spirit guidance, perhaps. It's unanswered prayers. Like they keep praying maybe on your downfall, but nothing, you're not falling, you're rising. You're not meant to fall. And that's what this person may not, or maybe just starting to understand, but may not be understanding just as of yet, is that they're the ones that are going to fall coming up against you because this is your life purpose. This whole channel was about you stepping into your life purpose, was you starting to implement the things that you've desired, about you loving yourself. The High Priestess and the High Priest are all about that. It's about the unison and balance of both your intuition and the mystery of it and the authority of who you are. And this could also be attracting a partner if you're not already with somebody who is your divine counterpart. And this Queen of Cups that was coming up against you is just at their wit's end. They cannot move past this emotional pain, so they're always in this Page of Cups energy as of late, if not they're about to begin it. And they're going to start to learn what it was like for you to have a period of barrenness, lack of growth, because that's what this card is all about. So it seems like the scales are balancing out for you as you move forward from all of what was done. And since it sounds like you had a lot of people coming up against you, one in particular being a ringleader, the Seven of Candles, this Goliath individual. And I feel like this Queen of Cups listened to the wrong person. And the sad part about it is it feels like this Queen of Cups knew your authenticity. They knew you were authentic. They knew you were genuine in who you were, your actions. They knew came from a pure heart. And they disregarded that because they wanted bigger and greater for themselves. And maybe you don't look like you're all that big, great energy that they maybe aspire to have. Maybe they have this disconnect in the perception of how they view the reality of life. I mean, living on Earth, we often tend to be drowned in this materialism. Like you must have big fat lips. You must have full breasts. You must look a certain way. Your hair a certain style. Always prim and proper in the latest styles and trends. You must have a certain type of vehicle, a certain type of home by a certain type of age. You must be able to go to these types of schools and gain these types of educations. And maybe you're somebody who maybe didn't have that privy in your life. Maybe you were raised and you came from smaller means, and everything that you have brought you into the space of who you are. And you were very grateful and you showed this gratitude and you have this faith. And this person just never had that. They were always taught to go for the bigger, badder of everything. And you were not taught that. You were taught to be grateful for what you have and to create and cultivate from who you are. There's a huge difference there. There's a huge difference there. And it all comes down to knowing thyself, having self-confidence, understanding your emotions, understanding your mental clarity, understanding your physicality on earth, and the imprint that you're leaving. And a lot of people struggle with these types of reflections, especially being on the earth, which is what? Satan's playground, right? It's all about fighting temptations. It's all about, just coming into yourself without getting interfered with, right? And that's the test being here. It's learning lessons from prior lives, learning lessons from even this life, moving forward, karmically speaking, with a clear slate. You're coming here to release karma, to clear the karma. But some people come and they don't. They accumulate more karma. And that's, I feel, is like the game. I always kind of looked at life like it's like we're in this big bubble on earth and we have all the angelic realm, all the realms above us just watching us eating popcorn. Ooh, what is she going to do today? Oh, she's going to go for that bad boy again? She's not going to learn her lesson? Let's see what happens here. It's like Spirit is just constantly watching us, waiting to see the arena which we choose. And some of us choose the hardships. We all choose the hardships at some point or another, but eventually we come to a point where we have to start learning from our hardships and changing the direction. And I think this is what this is all about. It's illuminating that you've done the work, you've changed the direction, and everything that you're trying to cultivate, all the beauty that you desire, all the growth, all the lovely blessings that are bestowed upon you for this lifetime, they're all coming into fruition because you are worthy of it. And not just that, you're worthy of it. And that's the key. I hope you liked this message. If it resonated with you and you liked it, please feel free to share it. Please please subscribe. It does help out my channel. I do appreciate each and every one of you. And until next time, take care.